Firstly, I hope you found this lengthy historical project compelling. I hope you learned from it. My hope is that it provides light on what life was like for a Civil War soldier writing letters to his family in Trussville more than 160 years ago. As for Elias Davis, as was said in letter 93, he was killed in battle August 21st, 1864 at the Battle of Weldon Railroad, as transcriber Earl Massey noted. This battle lasted August 18th to 21st, 1864, just south of Petersburg, Virginia. It was the second attempt of the Union Army to sever the Weldon Railroad during the Siege of Petersburg. Union forces destroyed miles of railroad track and withstood strong attacks from the Confederacy. It ultimately was the first Union victory in the Richmond-Petersburg campaign and forced the Confederacy to carry their supplies 30 miles by wagon to bypass the new Union lines that were extended farther to the south and to the west. Union casualties during the four-day battle were 4,296. 251 were killed, 1,148 wounded, 2,897 missing or captured. And Confederate casualties totaled 1,620, 211 killed, 990 wounded, 419 missing or captured. As for Elias Davis's wife, Georgianne, she raised both boys, John and William. She died November 22nd, 1899, and was buried in Oak Hill Cemetery November 25th, 1899, coincidentally on William's 36th birthday. John Davis, the couple's first son, was born January 18th, 1859, and as was stated, younger brother William was born November 25th, 1863, while Elias Davis was a Confederate soldier in the Civil War. Both John and William pursued medical degrees like their father and paternal grandfather before them. The brothers went on to become significant medical figures in Alabama. They founded the state's first medical journal and the largest private infirmary in the South. William served as president of several medical organizations, and both brothers helped establish the Birmingham Medical College. William's specialty was gynecology, but he also did research on liver and bile duct function and pathology. John was a surgeon and an officer in medical societies. He served as president of the Medical Association of the state of Alabama 3 years before his death. The brothers helped organize the Southern Surgical and Gynecological Association, which continues today as the Southern Surgical Association. Tutors in 1 year of school in Montevallo provided John with his pre-medical education. He graduated from the Medical College of Georgia in 1879 and returned home to set up a rural private practice. William earned an undergraduate degree from the University of Alabama and then studied medicine at Vanderbilt University and the University of Louisville. He graduated from Bellevue Hospital Medical College in New York City in 1884. Prior to William's graduation, John had moved his practice to the new and booming city of Birmingham. His younger brother joined him in 1884, and the siblings began 2 decades of medical achievements involving clinical work, research, and education. One of their earliest projects was a professional journal, the Alabama Medical and Surgical Journal, first published in July 1886. Both brothers were listed as the editors. Their journal was the first medical periodical in Alabama. In November 1886, the offices of the journal hosted the organizational meeting of the Alabama Surgical and Gynecological Association. William spent time studying at surgical clinics in London, Berlin, and Vienna during the first half of 1887 and gained a much broader medical education than most Alabama doctors. William was installed as the secretary of the Southern Surgical and Gynecological Association in 1887, while older brother John was chair of the Arrangements Committee. In 1889, the brothers embarked upon experimental research in surgical techniques on the abdominal cavity using dogs. William published several articles related to the surgical treatment of peritonitis, an inflammation of the abdominal membrane. This work was extended to humans in the closure of gunshot and knife wounds and became important advance in surgery that would eventually gain both the brothers national recognition. William published a number of articles on this and other topics. John also published on this work as well as on his research on blood transfusions. In 1892 and 1893, William spent several months at the Home Sanitarium for Diseases of Women in Rome, Georgia. Using the private facility as a model, the brothers opened the Davis and Davis Private Infirmary for Female Diseases and Surgical Cases in 1894. One area of their gynecological research studied the effects of ovary removal on levels of estrogen. That same year, the Davis brothers were two of the 9 physicians who founded the Birmingham Medical College, which opened on October 1st in a former hotel. John was married July 15, 1897 to Birmingham writer Margaret Elizabeth O'Brien. She died in April 1898. On August 12, 1897, William married local school teacher Gertrude Muston. The couple would have 2 daughters. In 1902, the infirmary moved to a new 4-story building in the same block where Hillman Hospital would open the following year. John taught surgery and William taught gynecology and abdominal surgery. Despite improvements in facilities and changes in governance, the Birmingham Medical College graduated its final class in May 1915. William was tragically killed in an accident at a railroad crossing in Birmingham on February 24, 1903. Sculptor Giuseppe Moretti was commissioned to create a large bronze statue of Davis, which stands today on the UAB School of Medicine campus in front of the former Hillman Hospital buildings on 20th Street. During his career, William had served as chair of the American Medical Association's Section on Surgery in 1890, president of the Tri-State Medical Society of Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee in 1891, president of the American Obstetrical and Gynecological Association in 1901, and president of the Southern Surgical and Gynecological Association in 1902. In July 1903, when Hillman Hospital opened as the culmination of work began in the mid-1880s by the Society of United Charities, John Davis and another surgeon, Lewis Morris, provided funds needed to furnish the 2 operating rooms. John served as president in 1928. He proposed forming a committee to discuss with the University of Alabama president and trustees the possibility of a state-supported 4-year medical school. Davis was among many people suggesting such a school, which finally opened in Birmingham in September 1946 and is now the UAB School of Medicine. John Davis died on May 16, 1931. Like his brother, he had also served in other medical organizations. These included vice president of both the Southern Surgical and Gynecological Association in 1904 and the American Association of Obstetrics and Gynecology in 1907. Both brothers, as well as their spouses, are also buried at Oak Hill Cemetery in Birmingham. That's the family story from research I've done, as well as information from Oak Hill Cemetery, Journal of the American College of Surgeons, Alabama Journal of the Medical Sciences, Alabama Medical Journal, the History of Medicine in Alabama, and the Encyclopedia of Alabama website, where much of this information exists in one spot. I would like to thank all the narrators who donated their time to make this important, lengthy project possible. Without you sitting to read, we would not have this project today. Thank you to the Wilson Library at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill for holding the original Elias Davis letters in its Southern Historical Collection. Finally, and most importantly, many thanks goes to Earl Massey, who spent so much time transcribing these letters so that we could read them today, so that we could preserve these stories locally at the Trussville Historical Museum. Thank you all for watching.